Today, I am going to be setting up some of my January spreads in my creative projects journal. So stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm Tracy and I want to welcome you back to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. And yes, today I am going to be setting up the cover page, and I'm going to start on in one of my project pages in what I'm still labeling my creative projects journal. I did do a title page in this journal where I said life captured creatively. So yeah, this is the one where I'm going to be doing themed projects each month. So think October daily, things of that nature. I always use that as an example. But I think for the month of January, I'm just going to kind of keep going with the kind of new year optimism, looking ahead type themes. So I'm going to be like having a page dedicated probably to like my word of the year. I want to do a letter to myself. I want to do a vision board. I want to do a bucket list and all of those fun things. Obviously, I can't do all of that in this video. So today I'm going to do my title page, and I'm going to do the first page, which is going to be a letter to myself plus some of my maybe word of the year or 2 words of the year. Yeah, so we'll see how all of that goes as we go through it. This video may actually, you might see a little bit of a difference because I think I'm gonna do the title page, take a quick break, and then come back and film the rest because I do have some lunch plans. But let's talk about my materials really quick, and then we're gonna kind of get moving. So I am going to use stamps for the title page. I think I'm going to keep this sort of simplistic. Yeah, if that's a thing for me. So I have stamps for January. I'm using these stamps, but look, y'all, I like planned ahead. I pulled out the letters. So yeah, these are big. Those are like some of my biggest alpha stamps. That's why I'm using that. I'm going to use that with black ink. But I do have some gold ink here because I have this stencil that has all of these really cool words on it, like journey, reflection, dream, escape, explore, laugh, love. And I was sitting there thinking that this could be really cool to kind of like put in certain areas of this page. And then have like January on it. And I do have a few stickers that I might put around it as well. But again, I think I'm going to keep this pretty simplistic. Then we're going to flip here. And I think I'm going to do like a door like this that folds inward. And then inside will be my letter to myself. That way it's kind of hidden when you flip. So I kind of like that idea. So technically I'll be decorating quite a few pages. With that, what I'm going to pull from is I did create some of my words and decor, and I have some like alcohol ink blotches that I actually got off of Canva. Then I have some image from Planet Darby. This is kind of like when I saw this and I saw the greens. These are the Planet Darby ones. When I saw the greens and everything, I'm like, oh, look, green journal. So yeah, I promise I'm not going to stick to this color palette throughout the whole time. But right now it's what's calling to me. So yeah, I printed off all of this. This is her New Year's sticker. So I printed it on clear transparent as well. I have some scrapbook paper here. I think that might be used more for the doors. And then I got some more images from Canva, got some glitter scraps, some more ink blotches. This came from Creative Fabrica. This might be on my title page, but everything else I think is going to be on the other pages. So I think that is it with, oh no, then I have a whole bunch of washi that I got eons ago. It's the washi, yeah, you don't get that much on a roll, so I'm gonna have to be like a little kind of, I'm gonna have to think harder about this. This one I don't think came with it, but this I got from Amazon. Yeah, like a couple of years ago, if not longer than that. So I put that there because it has the color palette. Don't have anything green that kind of relates to it, but I'm like, this could work, especially with the black and the gold and stuff like that. I'm like, we'll see. So I did pull out washi. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with this stencil first. While I would like to do something slanted like that, I don't know if I could do that. So I will say that I thought I used this ink previously and it looked a little more gold. And when I say gold, I don't necessarily mean like shimmery or anything like that, but just more true to a goldish color. Now it just kind of looks a little like light brown tan, which is okay. It is okay because I don't want it to stand out that much. I'm just trying to add some accents to the page in lieu of stickers or anything like that. And I really like the words on this stencil in particular. I feel like they are like aspirational words and things like that. And yes, the little design that I did in the bottom left corner is so much larger than the one that I did in the top right corner. But I didn't want to add to the one in the top right corner, so I just left it as is. You know, I am all about just accepting what is there and finding the perfection in that and not trying to add too much more because it may have messed everything up. So I'm like, we're just going to keep it. So now I'm going to stamp the month, and I'm going to do it in the center. I don't know if I'm always going to do it in the center, but this month I'm like, let's put it in the center. And I am still having problems applying an even amount of pressure when I place my stamps. And this is still, you know, before I have added a lot of stuff to this book. So if I'm having trouble already, I can already foresee that I'm going to have trouble as time goes on and this book gets fuller and the pages get a little more uneven. But yeah, I just, for some reason, when it comes to things that are in the center of the stamp block, I just miss the pressure there. So maybe I just need to put fewer letters on at a time so that way it can apply evenly. But it's fine. It looks okay. Especially, you know, when I put the A and the N in January again, I was lucky that it went directly on top of the old one and I didn't like misstep there. So this is the index page where I am going to put the theme for each month in here, and I decided to use the same stamp that I used on the title page. It just says Fresh Start. At the top, it does say every day is a fresh start. I just want it fresh start on there and not the everyday is. So I just decided to go ahead and stamp that in as like my title or the theme for this month. I think the other quote would have worked well too. Basically, it's like, yeah, you know, turning over a new leaf, starting a new year. That is the theme. There's nothing really, there's nothing really much to say about that. But I'm glad I remembered to do that because I rarely remember to do stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much all I'm going to do is just add a couple of stickers to the corners, and that's going to be it for this cover page. And then we're going to start doing the massive project of doing my like word of the year and a letter to myself pages. All right, so now the crafty fun is really going to begin. This is where I just try all the things in this one spread. So like I mentioned in the intro, I pretty much decided that I wanted to do these like fold in doors and then put my letter to myself behind the doors. And I knew at the beginning that I wanted to use the scrapbook paper on the doors itself. But then as I started playing around with it, I kind of liked the way the scrapbook paper looked carried across all 4 pages. And I was like, could I make this work? Could I make this work where I cut it, you know, so that way it's on each of the 4 pages separately, but when they're all like opened up like it is right now, it'll look seamless. That is very difficult to say to make sense, but visually you will see what I mean momentarily. And I will tell you, it worked out well, and it worked out on my first try. Like I didn't have to peel anything up and retape it, and you guys know that is very unusual for me. So yeah, now this is regular like scrapbook paper. So it is that thicker kind of material, not quite as heavy cardstock, but pretty close to it. Like I have some scrapbook paper that's really thin. This is not one of them. So it is going to add a little bit of bulk to the journal. And that door is also going to add some unevenness to my journal as well. So what I think I may end up doing is at least early on, as like I start creating more spreads in this particular journal, I think I'm going to open the door, keep the doors open, so that way it's not kind of like unevenness in the journal. As I make my way through the journal and I probably get to like the middle of the journal or what have you, I probably wouldn't notice any unevenness as much. Because at that point, there's going to be stickers and everything everywhere where it's just going to be a bumpy writing experience altogether. But that's when like pencil boards and stuff like that can help. But yeah, that's my thought, as I will probably keep the doors open, keep the doors open, but keep the flaps open, just so that way it isn't like an uneven surface when I'm writing on some of the spreads for the remainder of this month and probably into even February and March. So let's talk about these words really quick. So if you saw my goal setting word of the year video, then you know that my word of the year is fortify. So you're probably like, okay, I know that you talked about having breakthrough as a word, but then you went with fortify instead. So why do you have breakthrough here? Well, the reason why is because I was thinking, I mentioned this during my like word of the year video, that I was starting out with the word fortify. And then I was thinking maybe the second half of the year, maybe I've already built that foundation, built a strong base, worked on like nurturing and building up certain areas of my life, then I can kind of focus on breaking through some of the other barriers that are kind of holding me back. So I kind of feel like in a way they go hand in hand. I don't think I can work on both at the same time, because there's some areas of my life that need a little bit more attention at the current moment. And that is when I kind of really need to work on building and like trying to get like a stable foundation in those areas. So breakthrough will be something that I will be focusing on hopefully at the second half of the year. However, it could be pushed back to 2027, but I still want to keep that, kind of when I'm looking at the year as a whole, I still want to keep it as part of what I'm striving toward. So that's the reason why I decided to put both on there, and I'm really glad I did. Plus, let's face it, having both on there really balances out the spread aesthetically. Yes, it does. So I did print everything on matte transparent paper. However, because I added the scrapbook paper and things like that, I'm not putting these all down on a white surface, and it just would have completely changed some of the colors. So when I put, some of the word over the scrapbook paper, it would have made that area really dark. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to put this on just white sticker paper and then cut it again. And that's what I did, and it's fine. The way these words came out, which I got these words from Canva, they actually have like an AI assistant, so you can tell it what you want it to create, and it created the word for me. Because it put it so close together, I didn't have to do much cutting around the letters, so it was pretty easy to do that. So yeah, basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to be adding a lot of Darby's blooms to kind of decorate the space. I'm also going to add a few quotes because, this is, when I write my letter, I'm going to write it on New Year's Day, which I'm filming this early and on New Year's Eve. Yes, this is my January project book. And yes, I started it before January, but it's okay because I'm going to fill it in January. But I'm going to write my letter to myself on January the 1st, and then I'm going to read it at the end of the year. So that's why I kind of like, okay, I can still kind of treat this as kind of like a New Year theme. And I included a lot of the New Year quotes and things like that in here as well. Okay, now let's talk about some functional space I'm creating, guys. Yes, because I'm going to be creating some functional space. It's not all about stickers. It's a lot about stickers, but not all about stickers. So in the area here, which comes out to about a full page because it's half the page from the folded box and then half the page on that first page to make a full page. This is where I am going to be journaling about my word of the year, specifically fortify. So I am going to write in one box the definition that I feel is most applicable, because a lot of these words have multiple definitions. So I'm going to pick the one that's most applicable to what I want to achieve. Then I'm going to have another box that says why I chose that word. And then I just created several other boxes. And I think I'm going to talk about how I'm going to make that work for me throughout this year. And I'll just continue it on. And if I decide to kind of focus on something else in one of those boxes, I will just do that. I just liked aesthetically how it looked to have multiple boxes instead of just 2 pages with long boxes on each one. I will take this same format and apply it to the other side and do the same thing for the word breakthrough. So I just think this is going to be really cool to look back at. Obviously, because this is my creative journal, this isn't necessarily something that I'm going to be flipping to and referring to throughout the year. Like, I have my word of the year in my planner and things like that. But this is more for memory keeping type things. And again, I think it's going to be really cool to look back at the end of the year and see, like, did I achieve this? Did I reach this? And things like that. Or just to see what my thought process was 364 days earlier. So yeah, that's kind of the thought there. So I'm going to kind of go ahead, let you watch me like draw some more boxes, and then I'll pop back in when we get to the actual spread that will contain my letter. So let's talk about the decorating here first. I have a lot of little stickers that were still left to be used. So basically, I just wanted to use them here. So I had those pieces of scraps that I got from Canva, and I only used small pieces. So then I was wondering, could I use both to kind of create like a layered effect? And yeah, that did not work. It might have worked if this was printed on white paper, but when I wanted to do the blooms and the quotes, I really wanted those on transparent. So I just ended up printing everything on transparent. But I think it's fine because in the end, I think the small corner sizes end up working really well. I did have to pull out some undo. It's fine. It just dried my hands out a little bit during this process, but it's all good now. I loosened up afterwards and my hands are back to normal. But yeah, I did have to pull that out to remove the kind of layered look that I ended up not liking. So like I said, this is going to be a letter to myself. What I'm going to do is the center of the page is going to be my letter. I am using these Alpha Basics Volume 3 sticker book from Canva Plan. I think it may still be available. I got this on Black Friday. By the way, I am an affiliate for Canva Plan and Archer and Olive. So just always check down in my description box if you're looking to shop any of those stores. Canva Plan does not have discount codes, so I only have a link, but I do have a discount code for Archer and Olive in case you're looking for a new journal. So originally I had put the title at the top that was going to be Dear Tracy. And I was like, that's right. I do have these alcohol inks. I'm calling them, but they're mainly like ink blotches. I'm like, let me put those on there because again, I'm trying to use everything that I printed, because if I wasted, I don't want to say waste it, but if I used ink, and I use paper, I want to actually use them as part of the spread and not like toss them. So I ended up putting it at the top and then put Dear Tracy over top of it. And you will see a little bit later, I end up doing that same type of design for some of the Word of the Year boxes, because I want to put what and why as the titles there. So I'll do that with the layered effect as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty much just going to be adding stickers and drawing boxes. That is all I'm going to do. You will see what I end up adding, but I'm going to go ahead and talk through some of that now, so that way when you see it, it'll make sense. On that left side of the page, which is that half page, I am going to draw a few boxes, and I'm going to write kind of like what I want it to focus on this year. Again, I have this stuff in other places. This isn't for me. This isn't here to be as a reminder throughout the year. It's just something to look back at and to just see how well maybe I did throughout the year. It's a memory keeper. I want to see what I intended my focus to be on January 1. So I'm going to create a little box and I'm going to put that in. And then on the right half page, all the way on the far right, I'm going to do 3 wishes. Yes, I am. So like 3 wishes out of the year. Like, what do I want? What would I wish for this year? It could be things that are really far-fetched. It's fine because they're wishes. Or they could be something that I could easily attain if I, try hard or what have you. So I don't know why I decided to go that route. It just kind of came to my mind. I knew I wanted something where I can make a list. And I'm like, oh, let's do wishes and not priorities. So yeah, that's what I did there. And then the entire middle is going to be my letter to myself. Honestly, that's probably the only space I actually need. We'll see how it goes. I'll have to figure out kind of what I want to write about to see how big to write. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I might end up having to add stickers to fill in the space. We'll see. But that's pretty much it. You'll just kind of just see me adding the headers, adding some stickers, and then that's pretty much going to be it. So I'm going to go ahead, put the music back on, let you watch me kind of finish up a few things, and then I will pop back in to wrap everything up. All right, guys, there we go. Let's start with the title page, which, you know, for you guys, it was probably like 20-30 minutes ago. For me, it was like earlier this morning. So it's been about 4 or 5 hours ago because, like I said, I had to run some errands. But yes, this is definitely a little basic compared to the other spread I created today, but it's a title page. This is the intro page. I wanted to do a title page because I very well may add tabs here, especially because I have an index that's gonna have the theme. So if I want to switch, like, you know, turn to a specific month as I'm flipping through in the future, then I can do that. But yeah, I really like how this looks. I think it looks really cute, even though it is basic. And then there we go. This is the star of the show. Again, my inspiration for this was the Planet Derby New Year stickers. I just saw them. I saw the green, the gold, and the black, and I was like, oh, I have to do it. I have so many stickers, but I just had to do it. So I got the printable bundle, and I'm so glad I did because this is just... to me, it's perfection. I try my best to match the glitter with the 2026 that came as part of Darby's sticker sheet, and I think I did a good job. I just really like how this looks. I love this flap that is going to reveal my letter. Then I have places to journal here for my word of the year, what it is, why I chose it, and then how I plan on implementing it. Oh, I need to add some more glue there. And then over here, it's going to be the same thing for breakthrough, which is hopefully going to be something that I'm going to focus more on as the second half of the year comes. I'm going to be working on building that base and then breaking through all of the barriers. We'll see. It might be something that, you know, has to wait until 2027, but this is something that I'm working towards, and that is the reason why I wanted to put that reminder in my journal as well. So there we go, guys. I really, really enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I hope it gave you guys some ideas. Yeah. So definitely be on the lookout for a few more videos because I'm probably going to create my vision board pretty soon as well as my bucket list. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to playing in this journal some more. All right, guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, press that like button. And if you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing. That is all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.